Okay, on the bike nutrition, it is way more complicated than it needs to be. I want to make this as short and simple as possible, and for that reason, all we're going to be looking at is this one magical ingredient: total carbs. And the reason we look at total carbs when we're thinking about on the bike nutrition is if you nail your carb intake, chances are you're going to have all the fuel you need to maximize those training hours and get the most performance out of your training time. Now, when it comes to these sports nutrition products, total carbs is really just easy to digest, simple sugars, and it's almost always accompanied by some amount of electrolytes, maybe a little bit of caffeine, and apparently in this case, with goo, it has amino acids. Now, I don't really know what that means. We won't be getting into those topics today. Electrolytes are highly individual, so I would suggest you find a brand that suits your electrolyte needs the most, maybe tastes the best. I use goo, it's a team sponsor, but whatever brand you go with, I urge you just to focus on that one number, total carbs. And what you need to know about total carbs is your body can only digest around 60 grams of it per hour, maybe a little bit more if you're a bigger, well-trained athlete, maybe a little bit less than 60 grams per hour if you're a smaller, untrained athlete. But the point is this is a really important number because this is going to guide how we fuel properly on the bike. Okay, so it's training day. You've had your breakfast about an hour or two ago, and now it's time to fill your pockets for the training right ahead of you. Really simple. Take the number of hours you're going to be riding, multiply it by 60, and then make sure you're bringing that many grams of carbs with you on your ride. It's really that simple. So let's look at a 2-hour ride I'm going on here in a minute. I have 2 bottles here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to have one bottle just be water. I do like having just water in one of my bottles. Sometimes water just hits the spot and just quenches your thirst. So that one's just going to be water. This one I'm going to fill with this stuff, and this stuff is intense. This is Goo Roctane. Check this out, though. We're looking at carbs, remember. 59 grams of carbs for 2 scoops, and they suggest that 2 scoops goes into 1 bottle. So this is like an hour's worth of energy just in this one bottle. I almost never mix that much, though. It's just a little too heavy, so I actually just do 1 scoop. So this bottle is going to be a half mix, and this is going to have about 30 grams. Now, what do we need? I'm on a 2-hour ride. We need 120 grams. So that's 30 right there. I'm going to bring one of these guys right here, these chews, and the chew has 20 grams of carbs, but there's 2 servings, so that's 40. Bring a couple of gels. Let's say these are 23 grams each. So that's about 50, 40, 30. Boom, just like that. That's my setup for my 2-hour ride. So these things are going to go into my pockets, but before I even leave for the day, and this is my secret, this is an important tip, before you even leave, you already start to get that carb load going. So before I even leave the house, I would want something that maybe has a little bit of bulk to it also, so I would probably have like a waffle. And the waffle's got 22 grams of carbs. And then I would have like a banana. Again, I want something that has a little bit of substance. I wouldn't go too hard on the gels right away. They kind of give me like a hollow feeling in my stomach, an empty feeling in my stomach by the end of a long ride. So I would do like a waffle, a banana before I even leave the house, and that pretty much takes care of the first hour. Maybe a couple of sips of the 50% bottle of mix, and I'm already covered for that 60 grams for the first hour. And now we're an hour into our ride, and what do we do next? We finish the rest of the bottle with mix. So that is going to be about let's say 20 grams of carbs to finish that guy off, and then we're going to have this entire thing of chews. I was about to say most of this thing of chews, but let's be honest, I can't open one of these and not eat the entire thing. They're delicious, and that has 40 grams of carbs. So actually, that's perfect because that's another 60 for the second hour. That's 20 coming from the rest of the bottle. I remember I still have another bottle of water, and then I have 40 coming from this packet of chews. So now I'm set for the second hour of my 2-hour ride. So what are these gels for, you might be wondering? Why even bring these along? And there's a reason behind it. You never quite know what to expect. You always want to come home with some extra carbs in your pocket. This is like such a small expense in weight. If you guys are weight weenies, don't worry about it. Load up on extra stuff. Always come home. If you come home and you're completely empty on food, you're rolling the dice, because maybe next time you get a flat or something goes terribly wrong, and you need those extra calories just to get home. So that's my tip, and let's see how that applies to maybe a longer ride. Okay, so let's see how I fueled for this 4-hour ride that I did a couple of weeks back. And you got to get that load going on early. So like I said, before you even leave the house, get the carbs in. And in this case, it was a banana and a waffle. And that was good all the way up this first major climb. By the time I got into the top of it, an hour had already passed. I need to reload another 60 grams. So I finished a bottle by the time I got into the top. And on this pretty easy descent, non-technical descent, I ate another package of those chews. And that was good all the way through these next couple of climbs, through the state park, and all the way down into Boulder Creek. By the time I got there, another hour had passed, and I had finished another bottle of half mix, and I ate another waffle. And in Boulder Creek, I filled up both the bottles with just water. Now, I need to be careful now, because although I do prefer just water in the final hour or two of a hard ride or a race, obviously there's no carbs in water, so just have to be careful you're maintaining that 60 gram per hour load. And for that reason, by the time I had gone up and over this climb, come down by the reservoir, yet another hour had passed, and I need to get that 60 grams in for the final hour and this last and steepest climb before getting home. So down here at the reservoir, at the foot of this climb, I ate another package of the chews and another gel, and I had a full bottle of water, which was good to get me up and over this last climb and all the way home. Finally back home, I ate my weight in leftover pizza, because honestly, that's the best part of being an endurance athlete. No, in all seriousness, I hope this video helps, guys, and thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe, and I'll catch you at the next one.